Roman Reigns' return date leaked. Ricochet reacts to rumors about his WWE departure. A fired superstar leaks controversial reasons why his storyline ideas were rejected. CM Punk is a hypocrite. Dominik Mysterio falls in love with Liv Morgan. A WWE legend teases coming back to join Solo Sikoa. And replacing Paul Heyman, The Rock returns and attacks Cody Rhodes, and more. Let's dive right in. Ricochet reacts to rumors about his WWE departure. Ricochet has responded to a tweet about his possible WWE exit. He is reportedly set to leave the company this summer and won't be renewing his contract. If the latest rumors are to be believed, the 35-year-old star is on his way out of WWE. PW Insider recently shared a report that left wrestling Twitter divided. According to the report, Ricochet has informed the company that he will be leaving when his contract expires in a few weeks. Many fans were excited about the possibility of him wrestling outside the WWE umbrella, while others weren't thrilled. Amidst the hullabaloo, Ricochet responded to Ryan Satin's tweet, in which he talked about his potential WWE departure. Satin shared an old promo and said that if he does end up leaving the Stamford-based company, that's how he should be presented. The one and only responded by stating that it took him one take to deliver the promo. The former NXT North American champion made his way to WWE in 2018. He has done quite well for himself over the past 6 years or so. Shortly after debuting, he gave an exclusive interview that was published on the company's website. While talking about his goals in the promotion, here's what he said. Honestly, when I first started, I never thought I'd make it to the WWE. So now that I am here, my only goal is to become the best performer I can be and try to be an inspiration for my son and anyone, really, who doesn't think their dreams are possible because of where they're from or their circumstances. If I can inspire even one person to follow their dreams, then it will all be worth it. It remains to be seen. What's next for the former Speed champion in the coming weeks? If he does end up leaving, he would be a great addition to whichever promotion bags him. A fired superstar leaks controversial reasons why his storyline ideas were rejected. WWE experienced some of its most historic growth during the infamous Attitude Era. The PG era kicked off in July 2008, and the product was toned down. Officials only recently began booking edgier storylines, but one superstar who was let go revealed unique insight into the pitching and denying of creative ideas. Mustafa Ali was with World Wrestling Entertainment from June 2016 until his release on September 21st, 2023. The current TNA X Division champion had several different creative roles, including the leader of the Retribution faction. The star was known to pitch his own ideas at times, and often shared these ideas with fans on social media. Ali has been on per-appearance deals with TNA and NJPW, while also working for other promotions. He began pushing his In Ali We Trust campaign gimmick after his WWE departure. While speaking to Pro Wrestling Illustrated, he revealed that he once pushed the same character to WWE officials, but they wanted to stay away from anything religious or political. Ali recalled how he first came up with the idea while working on 205 Live from 2016-2018. So, the vision for current character was brewing in my head since actually the cruiserweight division in the 205 Live days, and there was a couple of instances throughout WWE where you would see kind of examples of this character or pitches to this character, or maybe one promo would pop up. But eventually it would get shut down because the general logic with WWE was they don't do anything political or religious, you know? Ali continued, pointing out that the character is not political. The 38-year-old said this was where he and the WWE creative team had a disconnect. Now that the character's kind of up and running, I think people can see that there's nothing political about it. It's just the nuances of a politician. Campaigns, protests, being voted, etc., speeches. I'm not saying anything political, and I feel that's where the disconnect was with creative and myself. So I have been thinking about this concept for years, Mustafa Ali said. Mustafa Ali debuted for World Wrestling Entertainment in the 2016 Cruiserweight Classic and stayed with the company until his release in 2023 due to budget cuts. The release came just months after Ali was sent back to NXT. Speaking to Straight Talk Wrestling, the 38-year-old said he expected the departure to come, and he had no emotional sadness associated with the career change. Expected, but there was no emotional sadness associated with it. I'm a very business-oriented person. I know what I'm capable of. WWE is a huge entity. It's a promotional machine, and oftentimes what happens is guys at the top of the card are in those positions for a reason. Obviously, we always hear about the revenue, breaking records, so they obviously know what they're doing. I, as an individual, always believe in the mantra of, if you really believe in it, you're willing to bet on yourself. And I was willing to bet on myself a year and a half or 2 years ago, whenever it was, and that's all it really came down to. Mustafa Ali went on to claim that he took the pro wrestling industry over in just 2 months of being on his own. He also said betting on himself has already paid dividends, and he's excited about what the future holds. CM Punk is a hypocrite? CM Punk was backstage at the NXT Battleground event that took place in the UFC Apex Arena. In a brief but heated backstage confrontation, he was left stunned after a champion called him a hypocrite. History was made at NXT Battleground, as not only was the first ever women's North American champion crowned in Kalani Jordan, but the first ever WWE champion versus TNA champion match took place, with incumbent Roxanne Perez facing TNA Knockouts world champion Jordynne Grace. Although the latter was dominant, she lost to Perez after interferences from Tatum Paxley and Ash by Elegance, FKA Dana Brooke. CM Punk even commented on the match on his Instagram stories, simply stating, "Ladies making history." However, despite his close relationship with Perez, he wasn't happy with how the finish played out. The Second City Saint went on to confront Perez backstage during her post-match interview with Sarah Schreiber. CM Punk told Roxanne Perez that she was lucky and advised her to focus on being who she truly is. "Look, just calm down for a second. You're the champion for a reason. You're head and shoulders above all these women here. You're head and shoulders above all the TNA Knockouts, but tonight you got lucky. I need you to focus on this. The NXT Women's Championship. I need you to be who you are. I need you to be the prodigy. You don't need anything else." The NXT Women's Champion responded by saying, "Thanks for the advice. What a hypocrite, huh?" leaving the multi-time world champion visibly stunned. After Perez stormed off, Punk asked Sarah Schreiber, "Is she always like this?" The latter nodded her head and confirmed that she was, in fact, always like that. As mentioned earlier, Punk has fostered a close relationship with NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez and her rival Cora Jade. Both women refer to Punk as their dad. In a recent interview with Adrian Hernandez, Roxanne Perez revealed the crucial piece of advice CM Punk gave her about social media and people's opinions of her. I'm scrolling on Twitter, and he leans back, and he sees what I'm doing on my phone, and he goes, "Stop looking at that. Stop looking at that. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter if they love you. It doesn't matter if they hate you. You keep on going out there and doing what you do and proving to everyone why you are in this. You are in the spot that you are in," she said. Hopefully, this advice will be taken to heart by Perez, who is still essentially in the infancy of her career. Dominik Mysterio falls in love with Liv Morgan. Dominik Mysterio may be in a much bigger soup than he already thinks he is. The former tag team champion is dealing with an injury, and now Liv Morgan is seemingly leaving no stone unturned in sabotaging his relationship with Rhea Ripley. If you feel this is all Morgan can do to win Dirty Dom, you may be mistaken. Over the last few weeks, Morgan has made it clear that she will do anything to steal Dominik Mysterio from Rhea Ripley. She has already won the Eradicators Women's World Championship, and now has her eyes on the latter's Poppy. On this week's Raw, she may attempt to win Dominik's trust by attacking his father, Rey Mysterio. Last week on WWE Raw, Liv Morgan continued to play mind games with Dominik, seemingly attempting to lure the latter into leaving Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day. However, Finn Balor stopped Morgan in her tracks and saved the day. Unfortunately, this won't prevent the Miracle Kid from achieving what she wants. Last week, Rey Mysterio faced Damian Priest in a losing effort. If he locks horns with the World Heavyweight Champion in a rematch on Raw, Liv Morgan could interfere on the Judgment Day's behalf and cost the Hall of Famer a potential win. Morgan could assault the 3-time WWE World Champion while the referee is distracted. Dirty Dom loves Rhea Ripley, but not more than seeing his dad being attacked and humiliated. The Miracle Kid can assault Rey to win over Dominik Mysterio and eventually convince the latter to enter a romantic relationship with her, betraying Ripley in the process. Liv Morgan's equation with Dominik Mysterio is beneficial for her, as it has been gradually allowing her to complete her revenge tour. However, it can also inadvertently benefit the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history. In an exclusive interview with Riju Dasgupta of Sportskeeda Wrestling, Gunther's teammate, Ludwig Kaiser, spoke about Liv Morgan and Dominik's relationship. He claimed that the chaos in the Judgment Day could enable the Ring General to win the World Heavyweight Championship from Priest if the latter remained champion heading into SummerSlam 2024. Well, man, you gotta be careful, right? Keep your eyes on the prize. Everything that could be a distraction is potentially dangerous. On the other hand, I gotta tell you from my position, or from our position, go ahead, keep your eyes somewhere else, because I can tell you, at the end of the day, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. Gunther won the 2024 King of the Ring tournament by defeating Randy Orton in the final. He is now eligible to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. It remains to be seen whether the Ring General can secure the coveted title. Paul Heyman gives a spoiler, WWE veteran. Paul Heyman had a message for fans on his Instagram story earlier tonight. The Bloodline member is all set to appear at a major fan expo on November 9th, 2024. Heyman has been one of the most must-see acts on WWE TV for quite some time now. He has been instrumental in the Bloodline's massive success over the past 4 years or so. Paul Heyman keeps his fans updated via his Instagram stories. In his latest story, the Wiseman hyped an autograph expo that he will be a part of later this year. He wrote the following in the caption of his story: "This will be, without question, the most unique appearance and fan experience in the history of the big event." And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. It won't be a stretch to say that the Bloodline has been the most interesting angle WWE has done in a long time. The storyline has been going on for almost 4 years at this point, and fans are eager to see its next chapter, which will kick off when Roman Reigns returns. Earlier this year, Heyman spoke with the New York Post and opened up about what kind of input he has on the storyline. "I carry a significant voice in how we are portrayed and presented. That includes everything from camera angles to music to storylines. It's why Roman Reigns bestowed upon me the blessing name of the Wiseman, which is both acknowledgement from the tribal chief to his special counsel, and also a historical reference to the Grand Wizard, Freddie Blassie and Captain Lou Albano, who are the only managers during the Vincent James McMahon, father of Vince McMahon, era." Paul Heyman is currently a member of the new Bloodline. The faction consists of Heyman, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. Do you see Heyman siding with Solo Sikoa when Reigns eventually returns, and a Bloodline civil war possibly ensues? A WWE legend teases coming back to join Solo Sikoa and replacing Paul Heyman, WWE Hall of Famer. Paul Heyman's position in the Bloodline has been in jeopardy since Solo Sikoa seized control of the faction. Attitude Era legend Rikishi recently discussed the endgame for the Bloodline and hinted at his potential involvement. The Wiseman hasn't spoken to his tribal chief since the latter's undisputed WWE Championship loss to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL. In a shocking turn of events on SmackDown last week, Heyman announced that Sikoa will sit at the head of the table until Reigns returns. Moreover, he named Tama Tonga the new right-hand man, while anointing Tonga Loa as the infamous. The recent regime change has some fans wondering whether Bloodline 2.0 will sit well with Roman Reigns. Speaking on his Rikishi Fatu Off the Top podcast, the WWE legend said he could see Reigns and The Rock on a collision course upon their returns. "I kind of see Roman Reigns on one side, maybe The Rock on the other side. He'll come in, maybe, be with Solo Sikoa on that side, and you can always go, The Rock finally gets, with Roman, and Roman has to be the centerpiece," Rikishi said. The Samoan stinker teased the idea of joining the Bloodline in time for WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas next year. "You got the Wiseman there. I kind of see myself someplace. I don't know where. We really don't know until you kind of see everything unfold. You know what I mean? Hopefully they're able to do some again in WrestleMania. I think tribal versus tribal, maybe 2 cages, war games type of vibe never been done before WrestleMania. You have enough of the bloodlines," Rikishi added. Rikishi asserted that he would like to see Jacob Fatu and Zilla Fatu on separate sides upon their potential WWE arrival. "If it was me, I'd probably separate both of them because, to separate these two and have that dream match to be able to happen on the grandest stage, that it'd be nice to be able to see Jacob Fatu go against Zilla Fatu." Jacob has reportedly been signed to WWE since WrestleMania XL, but the company appears to have put his inevitable TV debut on hold. Meanwhile, Zilla has expressed his desire to join the Bloodline. It will be interesting to see if and when the two men will be brought into the mix. The Rock returns and attacks Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is riding high as the undisputed WWE champion, but there is a looming threat. While we don't exactly know when, The Rock will return soon. The final boss could show up at any time to haunt the American nightmare. He may make a surprise return later this year and attack Rhodes, potentially opening up a window for Mr. Money in the Bank to cash in his contract. It would be a smart way to get the title off Cody, without beating him clean. But who will take advantage? There's a perfect candidate for the spot. WWE's slimiest heel, Dominik Mysterio, deserves a main event run following his excellent work as a villain. The Judgment Day member could fluke his way to the Money in the Bank contract, with Liv Morgan helping him win the ladder match. Dirty Dom cashing in his briefcase to end Cody Rhodes' first world title reign would cause nuclear heat. It's also an effective way to get the undisputed WWE Championship off the American nightmare if his potential showdown with The Rock at WrestleMania 41 is planned to be a non-title match. This would guarantee the Great One will get booed when he's back, fulfilling multiple purposes. Meanwhile, Mysterio as the WWE Champion would make for a fun few weeks. He can brag about holding it way longer than his dad ever did, even after dropping it to a top babyface, possibly back to Rhodes. While a non-title match is possible, Cody Rhodes versus The Rock would feel even bigger if the WWE Championship is on the line. After all, the final boss was initially supposed to challenge Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania 40. With that in mind, the swerve of Dominik Mysterio cashing in on Rhodes would merely be the start of the story. The American Nightmare can then regain the title from Dirty Dom ahead of WrestleMania 41, before putting it on the line against The Rock. Everyone wins in this scenario. Cody Rhodes enters the show of shows as champion. The Rock gets a big-time world title main event, and Dominik Mysterio can call himself a former WWE champion. Will Cody Rhodes defeat the final boss at WrestleMania 41? Roman Reigns' return date leaked. A WWE Hall of Famer has predicted that Roman Reigns could soon make his much-anticipated return and have a blockbuster match at SummerSlam 2024. Rikishi believes the Tribal Chief could take on Solo Sikoa in a dream clash at the biggest party of the summer. The Big Dog has been away from the spotlight since WrestleMania 40, where he lost his undisputed WWE Universal Championship to Cody Rhodes. Amid his absence, Sikoa has taken over control of the Bloodline. The Tribal heir dumped Jimmy Uso out of the stable immediately after the show of shows and added Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa to the heel faction. The recent events could result in a civil war within the faction once Roman Reigns returns. During the latest episode of his Rikishi Fatu Off the Top podcast, the WWE legend predicted that he could see Solo Sikoa standing his ground even after the Tribal Chief returns. Rikishi claimed the deadlock could pave the way for a dream match between Roman Reigns and Sikoa at SummerSlam 2024. I almost see Roman Reigns coming in and Solo Sikoa standing his ground, because that could be something with the outstanding performance of Solo holding it down since Roman is out of the picture. He's been doing a very good job of building his brand and holding that part of the Bloodline. I guess they call it Bloodline 2.0, Rikishi said. The veteran wrestler added, "I'm always thinking about what the fans would like to see. If fans want to see it, that definitely makes money. We all know Solo was the kind of the enforcer for Roman. And how good would it be to see that even if it's just for one match? It could be at SummerSlam or at a big event." A few days ago on Ryback TV, the former Intercontinental Champion pitched the idea of Roman Reigns turning babyface for the first time in years upon his return. Ryback suggested that a fan-favorite version of Reigns could be the ideal scenario to head into if WWE were planning to have him take on The Rock at WrestleMania 41. WWE wanted to do The Rock versus Roman, right? They want to do that. That's on their board. So now what they have to do is find a creative way to get there. They're going to make it such a good storyline and develop it. With The Rock probably going to come back at some point, my guess is maybe next year WrestleMania or something. But Roman is probably going to have a babyface return, and where we're going to finally get that match, Ryback said. Roman Reigns versus The Rock has been a long-rumored dream match. It will be interesting to see if the marquee clash takes place at next year's Showcase of the Immortals.